Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself. Fiend. I don't know the words. I'm just rapping for the heck of it. All right, guys, what is going on? How you guys all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and this is one of my biggest live streams of the year, as we are here live here on YouTube for my preview and predictions for WWE's WrestleMania 41. Takes place this coming weekend, April 19th and April 20th, 2025. A two-night extravaganza at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. They've had one event so far at Allegiant Stadium, and that was SummerSlam 2021, which was... that was not a good SummerSlam. I did not enjoy that show. I did not enjoy that SummerSlam. But it's in Vegas. WrestleMania. Is this the first WrestleMania in Vegas? Or no? I can't remember. I thought... Wasn't it like WrestleMania 9 or something? I can't remember when... I thought there was another WrestleMania in Vegas before, but it's been a long time at least. I'm not going to lie, it would have been very cool to go to a WrestleMania in Vegas. But besides, the number one reason, of course, I have a lot of other priorities in life right now. And Vegas is just expensive. My goodness. Thank goodness. The 4 times I've been to Vegas was for a business trip. Which I go every year in January for a business trip with my company. I've gone the past 4 years. It's awesome. And every time I'm inside the Mandalay Bay and I see Allegiant Stadium, like, it'd be so cool to go inside there. But I know I'm going to have to pay a hell of a lot of money to go inside. Oh, boy. But, and thank you, Tyler. He said Mania 9 was in Vegas. But we are going to roll in and talk about my predictions for WrestleMania 41. Both Night 1 and Night 2, of course, will be in this preview. And when I do my review for WrestleMania 41, we will, as always, review Night 1 and Night 2 in the same stream. Now, before I start, I got a little thing I got to clear up here or something like that. The other day, I posted a video explaining like why I was glad I didn't watch AEW Dynasty 2025. I had a stupid idiot in the comments say something like, "You're just too broke to go to the show yourself and not enjoy the atmosphere. Shut the hell up." And basically that was what they said. And I'm like, first off, it wasn't in my hometown. So why would I waste the money to go to Philly to watch a show I had no interest in? Just saying. Second off, I never, ever post my rant videos when I'm frustrated about something, intending it towards other people in the other fans saying that your opinions don't matter. That was just my pure opinion. So, if you have a problem with my opinions, then don't leave a comment at all. And I don't want you in my live chat either if you have a problem with my opinion. So, just getting that out there. But let's talk about WrestleMania 41. Overall, here's how I'm going into WrestleMania 41. Am I excited? Yes. Do I think the show will deliver? Yes. If I'm being honest, I'm expecting maybe a caliber of like how WrestleMania 31 was. A show with meh build. Well, I would say the build for this show was better than WrestleMania 31. And I think we're going to get a BB plus show. That's the expectations I'm going in with this WrestleMania. But, again, I gotta be real. A lot of people have said that the build has been disappointing. And I wouldn't say it's been trash, but I agree it definitely could have been better. There hasn't been too many weeks where I'm like, oh my goodness, it's WrestleMania season. I thought a lot of these matches were kind of like, okay, the match is happening, let's just coast the rest of the way. Because no doubt about it, the peak moments were definitely Jey Uso winning the Rumble, which we'll talk about that when we get to the Jey Uso match. And when John Cena turned heel, of course. That was the biggest moment, and probably will be the biggest moment of 2025, is John Cena's heel turn. So, yes, although the build to WrestleMania hasn't been anything close to what it was last year, I still think this will be a good to great show. I don't know if this will be one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, but I still think it will be a fun show. I wish the build was better, especially with how much people are going to be paying tickets for to go to Las Vegas. Maybe The Rock not having a match on this show kind of hurt that a little bit because he had other obligations. Or I'm also hearing that he just didn't want to overshadow John Cena. You know, I do think that, there could have been something done better. Like, also, I gotta be honest, one thing that's bothering me also, why is the biggest show of the year on Easter weekend? Like, people celebrate Easter. I celebrate Easter both nights because I still go to my one side of the family on one day and my other side on the second day. So, like, I'm gonna be able to watch this live, which is why I don't plan on doing any live reactions for this year's WrestleMania, unfortunately. I would love to, but I'm not going to because of, I don't know when I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching it live because of, my obligations to being with my family. And two, it's my first Easter as a father. So I'm not like ditching my son for WrestleMania. Like, Easter comes first for me this year. I'm sorry. But I've talked long enough. Let's, of course, get into the show. Tyler has a couple thoughts in the live chat. He says, hi, Mike. Rhea or Bianca better not win the belt. And he also confirmed that WrestleMania 9 was in Vegas. Yes, thank you. I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. But thank you for confirming that, Tyler. But yeah, I will say this, though, also, before I also start my predictions. Which, first off, I'm just going to... The matches that, like, there's not too much to say about, I'm not going to waste too much time on them. But there's a few matches I do have a little bit more to say. I do have a curveball of a prediction that as of now, I don't think anyone else has pitched. I did see Cultaholic Wrestling did post a video with some possible outcomes, and the thumbnail kind of made me go, they may have beat me to the punch. But I'm still going to pitch my idea as one certain person may be the one who may be most remembered for this WrestleMania. Because I think there's one... Well, there's really two people, a couple people that could be somewhat involved in both nights of this show. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I have a big curveball I want to throw in for the main event of night 2. Also, Tyler, I don't know. Orton has a match at this Mania. I have no idea. We will talk about Randy Orton when we get to night 2. So, like I said, I want to go through this. Blow through probably the matches. I don't have too much to say. Like, there's definitely 3 of the matches on night 1. I'm going to just blow through very quickly. But yeah. So as of now, there's 13 matches. 7 on night 1, 6 on night 2. Could be 7 on night 2 if Randy Orton gets a match, which we will talk about Randy when we get to night 2. So I think to open up the show, on night 1, we will have Gunther and Jey Uso for the world title. Now, I gotta first say this. Although, yes, CM Punk is getting his super long overdue WrestleMania main event that he should have had probably back in like 2012 or 2013, I do agree with the fans. who are upset that this is not Jey Uso. I do agree that Jey Uso is probably the hottest he'll ever be right now. And this Jey Uso should have had a WrestleMania main event match. That does suck. He got ripped off. But I feel like it's going to be... And I've got to say this before. I do feel this WrestleMania is going to have a lot of heel moments. It's going to be a very heelish WrestleMania. So that's why I was very careful for my predictions. So, Gunther and Jey Uso. I still do not get why people are saying that Jey Uso was not a good pick to win the Royal Rumble match. And like I said, he is literally over like Rover. He has one of the hottest entrances you've seen in a long time. And he's someone who literally no one ever thought would be in the spot. But he's there. And people were saying that they wanted to see Jey get that main event spot. And although, yes, we've seen Gunther and Jey fight many times, even the Saturday before Royal Rumble at Saturday's night's main event, this was still the Rumble was the first time when it was like, oh, they are going to go all in on Jey. And people were, again, upset because John Cena didn't win the Rumble. And I kept saying, even from the beginning, John Cena winning the Rumble is not the right way to go. John Cena needs to go and win Chamber and turn heel. Which I thought they would save the heel turn until WrestleMania, but obviously they did that Chamber instead, which was still probably one of the best moments I've seen as a wrestling fan, that's for sure. So, although, yes, we've seen this match how many times, this time it's different because they're finally like giving Jey that spot. And the past couple weeks, I thought the build has picked up. Yes, they're playing into, the doubters. And it's really getting to Jey's head. And yes, Gunther said he was going to make Jey's life living hell. Took it too far with what he did to Jimmy. And the past couple weeks, he's a lot more serious. But come on. You gotta at least have Jey, ignite the whole, raising the roof yeeting to start off WrestleMania. Which honestly could be the hottest pop of the night. I'm pretty sure we could be getting some, heelish moments. Which honestly, just look at this first card night, I have mostly heels winning these matches. But not this one. This match is going to be all about the moment. I think, if it's like a moment maker rather than, again, I feel like no one's going to remember the match. The match, I think, will be good. Jey and Gunther have had good matches when they've wrestled. This is going to be about the moment. I think this is going to be on the caliber of what we got from Gunther and Sami Zayn last year with the IC title on the line. And they're going to give Jey Uso his moment. He rightfully so deserves this moment to be world champion. Will he have some to prove it as world champion in-ring wise? Yes. I do have a bad feeling, though, Jey Uso may only be world champion very briefly. I'd hate for that to happen. Heck, I even say this. If Jey Uso and John Cena, which, spoiler alert for the main event night 2, are both champions by Crown Jewel, which, that's right, I don't know are we doing Crown Jewel this year? I think we are, yeah. By Crown Jewel this fall. I'd actually be interested in that match for the Crown Jewel title. Based off, of course, the ending to Rumble 2025. I think that would be an interesting, callback if they get there as champions. I have a feeling, though, Jey won't be a super long-term champion, though. I hope they give maybe a couple months with the belt, at least, but I don't know. But Jey is winning the world title. And WrestleMania is going to start off hot and going, yeet, 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 yeet. Allegiant Stadium's going to be on fire when he wins that title. So, yes, I'm sticking with Jey Uso winning that World Heavyweight Championship. Again, the match will be good, but this match will mostly be remembered for the moment of a guy, Jey Uso, who was never supposed to be in this spot, got there. So, yeet, I think Jey Uso is winning to open up WrestleMania 41. Second match I'm predicting is the first ever, as far as I know, women's non-title singles match. Jade Cargill and Naomi. So this is going through with the story of who attacked Jade Cargill, which as of now, it's Naomi. I guess it's very obvious Naomi was in fact involved with this. I still want to believe Bianca Belair was somewhat involved with this. And they're playing very long term with that, if of course that is the case. I do wish, if I'm being honest, the first ever non-title women's WrestleMania match, in my opinion, should have been Bayley and Sasha back in like 2018, whatever it was. That should have been the first ever WrestleMania women's non-title match. But this will still be good. Honestly, they probably booked this to put Jade over. Yes, last year at this time, I was worried they were giving Jade a little too much too soon. They did slow down on her, though, which I'm glad they did. And I think this was intended to kind of like be another hump to get her over. And probably have her be in the main event scene sometime within the next year. But we gotta be honest. This Naomi heel character, I think has definitely gotten more over than what they expected. This whole proceed with caution, wild psycho like gimmick she has and whatnot, the dark promos that she cuts with razors in her hair or whatever the heck it was, or even that first promo she cut with all the drama and acting and the emotions, like it was all in there. I really think Jade will be okay taking a loss here. Yes, I think Naomi needs to win this match. And I do think Bianca Belair will somehow get involved in this. And I think she won't intentionally cost Jade the match, but I don't know what it is. I feel she'll do like something like small to like somewhat help Naomi win, but it's not that obvious. Honestly, if I'm just saying this, I would have been okay. You know how I hated how Bianca Belair was the special guest referee for the rematch with Io and Rhea? She could have been the special guest referee for this match. She's not wrestling until night 2, so make her the special guest referee. Make it a little more interesting. You know? But I still think the long-term story is Bianca's going to be revealed, as she was also behind the attack of Jade as well. But because this Naomi heel character is just too good. So too good to the fact that I want to see her get the women's title after WrestleMania sometime. Which also has an impact on this match down here, which we'll have quite a bit to talk about for this match. But I think they have to call an audible and pivot here and have Naomi win this match with Jade. So just saying. So there's that match. Match number 3 and 4, are going to be good, but I'm not as excited about it, so I'm going to fly through these really quick. First one, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. I love LA Knight. I think he's proven, though, to me that he's in like a stable spot where he can take a loss where it needs be. Jacob Fatu needs to win the U.S. title here. They're starting his push. He's a heel. It's okay if you go all out, make him like someone who is like tough to beat. Like make him like another Gunther where he barely ever loses, and Jacob Fatu's win the U.S. title. The only reason I would see Jacob Fatu not winning this match is if Solo screws him over. And we go into Solo and if we do Solo and Jacob for the summer. So that's the only reason why I see LA Knight retaining. Honestly, if there's a draft though, I do think LA Knight should go to Raw. I think he has kind of run his mileage on SmackDown. Put him on Raw, especially, with certain people being involved in the main event scene. I think that's time to start getting LA Knight some world title matches. He could feud with, like CM Punk if Punk's still on Raw. Seth Rollins if he's still on Raw. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to do a draft or not because of the recent transfer window. But I do think LA Knight should move to Raw. after they do a draft. But yes, I do think Jacob Fatu is going to win the United States Championship here at WrestleMania 41. The next match, which we'll be, again, not as excited for, but I think it will be a good match. Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable. I'm sorry, El Grande Americano. This will be also, I think this will be a sleeper hit. Definitely a match. I feel like, even though I don't have the highest expectations for it, I think they're really going to make this one worth it. Now, if it was up to me, I would originally say have Rey win and unmask and reveal it was Chad Gable all along. It's way too soon. It's way, way, way too soon to go down that route. I know Chad Gable is usually good with telling a story from a loss, but this is his first WrestleMania, I believe, as a singles match. I still think it's a crime that the past year, with the work Chad Gable's gone since he turned heel on Sami Zayn last year, he should have won the IC title from Sami Zayn last year, just saying. But I do think that, he deserves some type of big recognition, and I think he should win this match with Rey. Rey doesn't need to win this. He's a Hall of Famer. He's got nothing left to prove. So, I think this should go to El Grande Americano winning this match. And maybe SummerSlam or sometime further down the line, maybe you can do the thing where he gets unmasked and reveals it's Chad Gable all along. But I'm definitely excited about that match too. Alright. This next one, I got a little bit more to say about. Crack the knuckles, stretch, and flow. Okay. WWE Women's Championship match. Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Well, Tiffany Stratton is the champion. Oh boy, this whole situation's just been a big mess. So, I personally was hoping for this match for WrestleMania solely for the fact because in interviews I had heard Tiffany say that Charlotte was what inspired her to be a wrestler. And I'm like, okay, what a bigger match at your first WrestleMania. I don't think she was on the WrestleMania card last year. I don't think Tiffany wasn't. Her first WrestleMania, going in as champion, fighting the person who you inspired to be a wrestler. Well, I guess we've learned that sometimes meeting your heroes aren't always the best things, because it does look like Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton have some real life heat. And what sucks is, so I retweeted something last week I saw that the rumors are the reason why there seems to be heat between these two is because Charlotte Flair's kind of doing that thing where she's like the veteran trying to rattle the other talent. Maybe make them push them to really step up or whatnot, or get on their skin, make them feel like, if you really want my spot, you really got to go through me, whatnot. Honestly, we got that vibe whenever Charlotte just absolutely destroyed Tiffany on the microphone for that split screen interview they did. I do feel like, though, this build also has definitely exposed that Tiffany still is not the best on the microphone. That one promo she cut, not the week of when her and Charlotte completely went off script in Chicago, but that one before where I forgot what Tiffany... It was that SmackDown that I didn't review because I was getting ready to travel 2 weeks ago. And Tiffany said a lot of things that made no sense, and her delivery... I'm sorry. I still think Tiffany Stratton, she's gotten better, but has a lot to improve on the microphone. I also feel like Tiffany may not be meant to be a babyface right now, if I'm being honest. Because I still think it's like The Miz. She still comes across as that arrogant, stuck-up, blonde, mean girl character. She's only a face because the fans love her and they hate Charlotte. Because I read also... And everything, too, why this whole idea of Charlotte trying to rattle Tiffany is the fact that originally this was planned for the roles reversed. Charlotte was supposed to be the babyface. Tiffany was supposed to be the heel. But obviously, because Charlotte literally has had no love, no absence makes the heart grow fonder feelings. Nobody, I feel like almost nobody is excited to see her back. And I know she's going through a ton right now, but Charlotte should have known better to take the heat, especially when she got all flustered in that promo in Chicago. And Tiffany had to try to carry it. And instead, they kind of exposed themselves that there really is some real life heat between these two. Which, again, if you're doing a thing where you're trying to rattle the talent, I feel like, my personal opinion, that works more better with a face doing that to a heel. Because at least, even though, of course, I hate to see young talent, get buried, but at least it's the face giving the heel their comeuppance, proving, yeah, you're not ready for that spot yet. Where here, they had to abruptly reverse the roles so it doesn't work. And again, it's made Charlotte kind of look like she's lost her edge. So, in my opinion, I have a feeling they're going to have Charlotte win the belt. But I want Tiffany. I'm picking Tiffany, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be Charlotte, but my pick is Tiffany. Especially if Charlotte Flair, she's got a lot going on right now. She's dealing with her divorce from Andrade. I'm not going to shoot on that. That's none of my business. Or anything like that. I do feel sorry that it's her third divorce and whatnot that has happened. But I do think I'd rather have Tiffany win it. I'm sorry. I feel like that if Charlotte wins the title, then what? What else is going to really happen? I also want Tiffany to win the belt, because if anybody should have the belt right now, it should be Naomi. So I'm going to say Tiffany retains the title here, drops it to Naomi at Backlash. That's the route I think they should go with it. So, I know this has been kind of a messy feud. The match, I think, is still going to be great. I do hope, even if Tiffany doesn't win, this is kind of a really big breakout match for her on the main roster. But again, I also have a bias towards Tiffany winning it, because I want her to drop it to Naomi at Backlash. So, that's my pick on that match. We're going to move on. Not much to say about this next match. The War Raiders defending the World Tag Team Championships against the New Day. I get why they want to have heel New Day on this show, because, of course, of their character arc and whatnot. But honestly, why are they having a match? Why is the World Tag titles being defended at WrestleMania and not the WWE Tag titles? Because, in my opinion, they put more time into the WWE Tag titles on TV than the World Tag titles. The World Tag titles have not been defended once since the Raw Tag titles changed to them after WrestleMania last year. On pay-per-view, that is. The World Tag titles have not been defended on pay-per-view once since they became a thing last year after WrestleMania. The WWE Tag titles only been defended one time. That's one thing I'm really going to knock Triple H for. The past year, he has not done a good job booking the tag team divisions. But I get it. New Day is one of the hottest acts right now. And, in my opinion, they're probably going to win the World Tag titles here. Honestly, I would love for Big E if they were going to lose, I would love for Big E to return and cost them. But I feel like, not yet. Give them the tag titles, keep their momentum going up, have them have a reign with them, and then because I do feel like if Big E was done, he would have addressed it at the 10-year anniversary celebration at the end of the year last year. But it sounds like there are plans in the future for Big E to get back in the ring. So, I feel like within the next year, that'll happen. New Day win the tag titles right here. We're moving on. All right. The main event of night 1 and part 1 of my somewhat curveball, which I can't take full credit for it. I'm only saying this part of it because I know a lot of people have been predicting this and pitching the idea. But I have something that's a follow-through for night 2. But anyways, So, main event of WrestleMania Night 1. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman in CM Punk's corner in a triple threat match. Main eventing WrestleMania. CM Punk's first and possibly only, who knows, WrestleMania main event. So, I'm not going to lie, this still feels kind of thrown together. I'm pretty sure Roman is only in this match because they had nothing else to do with him, for him, after The Rock backed out. But I do feel like they've tried their best to tell a good story from this. And the pieces of the puzzle have fallen together. I get it. You know, Seth and Punk have their issues. Roman and Punk have had their issues, but even more personal now because of Punk pulling Paul Heyman into his corner. And Roman and Seth, of course, have their long history as well. And they still are teasing the fact that there's unfinished business, because even though, of course, they once did briefly kind of like get along again, they've never really had that true reigniting moment, just the two of them. They've kind of been like forced to be together again with the Shield and other things. They didn't have like that truly like, you know, reuniting moment like Rollins and Ambrose did in 2017, I think it was, when it happened. Or, yeah, 2017, yes. So the pieces are put together well. This will be a great triple threat match. I feel like there will be a lot of, like, you know, near falls, some stealing finishes, some callbacks and throwbacks, and, of course, some involvement from Paul Heyman. So, I had to change my pick for this. My gut still, because my idea for night 2 could still happen, even if it doesn't go how it goes on night 1. My gut feeling is still saying they may give this to CM Punk, because this is his only WrestleMania he'll probably ever main event, and it's like his big moment. But, and I'll say this too, Roman, I don't see winning this match at all. I don't know if he'll take the pin or not, but I think, if anything, CM Punk could just win this match, and they can move on with CM Punk being a Paul Heyman guy again. Could feud with Roman. I think we will get that feud in the summer. And heck, I could honestly maybe see it play into effect with CM Punk being a Paul Heyman guy. It could lead to maybe, because people say eventually Punk is going to have to go heel eventually. It could kind of start planting the seeds. Because let's say this too. Let me point this out too. All three of these men are technically baby faces, but like one with the other kind of has like their healer moments. Like Roman, I think is the tweener in this feud. CM Punk is the true babyface. Seth Rollins, I don't think Seth Rollins is full on heel yet. I think he's been playing de facto heel during this build. That could change, though, here. So, again, my safe pick is CM Punk. But, and I thought about this too, because this is going to go with my curveball on night 2. And I feel like, and I'll explain more when I get to night 2, I feel like they really need to put even more heat on this and have it kind of be like two-person stories, that is. People are saying, what if Paul Heyman teams up with Seth Rollins? Which at first I'm like, kind of random, and does Seth really need Paul? Or does Paul need Seth? Because but then, like, the more I've seen their promos, like last week and this week on Raw, Seth's spoken some truth. And that's what I do like about this triple threat match, is that Seth is speaking a ton of truth, very justified. Like CM Punk coming back, says all this crap at WWE 10 years ago, calls his place home. What's changed? He's kind of like put Punk in that hot seat. Roman Reigns, yes, although he's a babyface now, people love him. he still, like, was rough on the bloodline. And, of course, of all people, of course, as I called him a year or two ago, his own Nagini, his wise man, Paul Heyman. And, like, it's like, especially in the promo this past week on Raw, he threw that hint about doing what's best for business. And to me, like John Cena teasing what's best for business when he had that backstage promo after Rumble, when he announced he was going to be in Chamber, that was his hint of going heel. Maybe that's Seth Rollins' hint of him and Paul Heyman getting together. So, again, my safe pick is CM Punk. But because of what I'm predicting for a curveball for night 2, I'm picking Seth Rollins, and him and Paul Heyman will join together. But again, what I'm going to predict for night 2 may not need that. But I personally think it'll be more heel heat because he's still going to be a thorn in someone else's side. Heck, it could be 3 people's sides. But we'll see when we get to night 2. So before we get to night 2, let's briefly check our live chat here. We have Robbie in the house. Robbie Kenobi, what's up, buddy? 2018, Sasha, Bayley, and Dr. Shelby. Oh, God. Oh, God! You know, Vince thought that would be funny, so he brought it back one time, saw that no one cared anymore, and then just dropped it. Yeah, God, that was horrible. That whole thing with Sasha and Bayley for like a whole freaking year. And remember, all they fought that year was just the Riot Squad. Ugh. Robbie says, I'm ready for Jacob Fatu to become the new United States champion. All gas, no brakes. Yalabin! Yeah. Tyler wants Charlotte to win. He also says, he meant to say Naomi, but he actually said Naomi is not a main event on SmackDown. Put her on Raw. Okay, maybe she'll go to Raw and dethrone whoever wins. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if Bianca, though, stays on Raw, though, there might be a slight problem. But if who I'm picking to win the women's world title match wins, that could be a possibility. But Bianca would have to stay away from Raw then if that's the case. And then Robbie said, Nami? You mean Naomi, Tyler? And Tyler says, it's too soon for Jacob Fatu to be U.S. champion. World champion? I would say yes. U.S. champion? I think he's ready, personally. Robbie also says, Naomi should stay on SmackDown and potentially feud with Tiffany over the women's championship. Exactly. Which is the reason why, again, I think they should have Naomi beat Jade and Tiffany retain the title, immediately get that belt on Naomi at Backlash. But, thank you for your guys' thoughts in the live chat. It's been a very civil and good stream so far. So now we will move on to night 2. So night 2, as of now, has 6 official matches. Could there maybe be more? Maybe be one more if they do give Randy Orton a match. So I'll talk about Randy Orton first before I get to the rest of the matches on this card. So here's what I'm going to say about Randy Orton. I do think he should have a match on the show, yes. He was supposed to have one originally with Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens has had his neck surgery, which I heard went very well. Now I'm hearing maybe 12 to 16 months for Kevin Owens, which was better than the original 2 to 5 years I heard originally. 12 to 16 months, I'll take it. Maybe back before SummerSlam 2026. We'll see. But, so, if Randy Orton is to have an opponent at WrestleMania, my personal pick, I would love it for it to be Aleister Black. The vignettes that are on SmackDown with the smoke and whatnot, I'm pretty sure are him. And I've always wanted to see an Aleister Black and Randy Orton feud. However, I do have concerns with them fighting here. Because Backlash is in St. Louis, which is rumored to be John Cena versus Randy Orton. Probably with the title involved. I don't think they should have Randy Orton lose here and then get a title shot against Cena. I also don't want to see Aleister Black lose in his first match back. Him getting a big win over Randy Orton would be absolutely stupendous. And also, if they are bringing him back at WrestleMania, please give him back the Root of All Evil theme song. Please, please, please. Please don't do that. Please do that. Don't give him some other crappy Def Rebel shit. Don't do that. If it's not Aleister Black, though, which honestly, that's the one I do hope for the most, but I know if that happens, we're in a tough situation here. I know some people said maybe Rusev. I don't think so either, because I wouldn't want Rusev to lose either. And I'm still nervous about Rusev coming back to WWE. I don't know if there's a spot on him in the main event scene right now. So how he's booked, I don't know. So I don't think it should be Rusev. I feel like they could do Solo, which that'd be a big throwaway if they did that. But honestly, just to get Randy on the card to give us a nice RKO moment, fine, whatever. Honestly, if I'm being honest, the safest bet could be Nick Aldis. Because the simple story of like how it was with AJ Styles and Shane McMahon, you know, okay, someone put his hands on an authority figure, and the authority figure wants to, you know, get a few punches in on him. Randy can beat Nick, no problem. They shake hands like men, they move on. So I'll say, if Randy has a match, I think the safest bet should be Nick Aldis. Again, if Randy is not fighting for the title at Backlash, you know, I feel like he should, because do him and John Cena at Backlash in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis, if that's not the long-term plan, then go ahead and do him and Aleister Black. But eventually, though, we will, even if it doesn't happen here at Mania, we will get a Randy Orton and Aleister Black feud. But again, that is to see if Randy actually is going to have a match on the card. So, there's that one. This next match, I don't give a single shit about. The women's tag titles, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, teaming up and they defend their tag titles against the women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley. A team that literally just came into existence like a week ago. Honestly, this is a match that's just a match that I feel like is just to get a few more people on the card that aren't on the card yet. They want to give Liv on the card. I get it. She just had like a career year. It would suck to have her not on the WrestleMania card after the year she's had. You know, Raquel's her muscle. Lyra, you know, first year on the roster. Again, we've been giving her a hard time about how she definitely needs more of a character. She has literally no character right now. I love her in the ring, but I agree she has no character. But it's just to throw her on the card, and it's an excuse to get Bayley on the card. It's literally all this is. I don't know if it'll lead to a heel turn for either one of them two, even though if I had to pick one, Lyra needs it more than Bayley, in my opinion. Like, Bayley has the resume. Like, she doesn't have to, you know... Bayley really doesn't have to do much anymore, in my opinion. I do think it's too soon to turn her heel again, even though I will also say face Bayley's been kind of stale the past year. But I do feel like, you know, for the long term, I think Lyra needs this more. So... well, if they decide to turn someone heel, but no, I think they're going to give. I think Liv and Raquel are going to retain here. Just saying. So that's my pick there. AJ Styles and Logan Paul. There's been no build to this. It's a match that it's going to be great when it happens. They're both excellent in-ring talents, but there's literally been no build. It's just basically been the same old Logan Paul crap of like, hey, you guys are here to see me. You pay money to see me. AJ's like, shut up. That's basically all it is. Easy. Well, I would say easy pick here. I honestly would like to see AJ win this match. Because when's the last time AJ's really gotten a big victory? Like, since 2022, I think it was. Or even maybe before that. AJ's really not been booked to win many matches. And I feel bad. Because like, I do feel like, you know, while he's still around, he should be someone serious in the main event scene still. And him constantly losing is not going to do much. So give him a win over Logan Paul. Logan can take the loss. So it'll be a great match, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's literally a match that, like, you know, it was announced, it's there, that's it. So that's that match. The Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I still kind of, well, I'll be honest here. This should have been Braun Breaker and AJ Styles. Why did they tease that match before Chamber and it never happened? I don't know. I mean, I don't know who Logan would have faced, but they had to have Logan Paul on the card, I guess. Whoa. I can do without him, of course, even though he's a great wrestler. I just think he's a legitimate asshole as a person, but I think this should have been Braun Breaker and AJ Styles. Or it could have been Braun Breaker and Penta. Of course, people give them crap out their match on Raw, but that's because they got overshadowed by the Judgment Day. So, a lot of people are saying, who did I pick to win this match? Who did I pick to win this? I think I picked Braun. I gotta double check my picks. Yes. A lot of people are saying they think Dominic Mysterio should win this match. Because really the main story going into this match is there's teased dissension between Finn and Dominic. The problem I have, though, with Dominic winning is that it would feel like this match is going to definitely tear Finn and Dominic apart. But they both really have no reason to go babyface. Dom is too good as a heel. He still has Liv and Raquel, who are not turning face anytime soon. And Finn Balor, even though he's about to get kicked out of the Judgment Day, like I said, I love Finn Balor. He's an excellent talent, but he's done nothing for the past few years but lose. He'll lose, and lose, and lose, and lose, and somehow he's getting an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania. So, like I said, even if they, kicked him out of the group, I don't know, how you can make him a babyface. So my safe bet is to, yes, have them turn on each other during the match, but have it cost them the match by having Braun, pin one of them. Penta's gonna be in there just to show off, have an awesome performance. But I think Braun should retain right here. Braun retains, and heck, if you want to give Dominic the title, the IC title, do one-on-one eventually at Backlash or something like that. Because Braun the next year should move on to the main event scene, yes. But I just feel like if you give Dom the title win in this Fatal 4-Way when he's turning on someone who shouldn't be turning face either way with Finn Balor, because he has no story of him going face, all he does is lose, it would be an awkward situation. So I'd say split them up, keep both of them heel until Finn can actually get a good story behind him being on his own again, and keep the belt on Braun. So I think Braun will retain in this match. Just saying. Okay, then we have Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. Again, kind of a match feeling is just throwing both of them to be on the card. But I get the story. How Damian Priest has been kind of a thorn in Drew McIntyre's side. Even though his biggest rival has been CM Punk, the person that's really been, on the other end of his downfalls is Damian Priest. And I think a Sin City street fight between these two will be really good. Could be a very underrated match of the weekend. If I had to pick who wins this, though, I think Drew should win it. Get him back into the main event scene. If I thought Cody was retaining the title, I would say have Cody feud with Drew following Mania. But I don't think that's going to be the case. There could be somebody else that Cody's going to feud with after Mania, and I'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, I think Drew should win the street fight. Damian will be okay. If Damian wins, though, I have no problem. I think it's been a while since Drew's really had a big win, though, if I'm being honest. So, I got that. Now we got the triple threat for the women's world title. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. This I did not expect at all. I thought we were going to be getting Rhea and Bianca, honestly. But here's what I'll say about this. The person I definitely don't see winning this match is Rhea Ripley. Had Io not gotten involved, I would have definitely said Bianca. Because I still want to hold on to the fact that Bianca built, because I still think Bianca personally, she needs a heel turn more than Naomi did. But again, Naomi's just too good as a heel right now that I don't want that to be a whole thing where it's like, she was like, like a red herring. Naomi was clearly involved, but so was Bianca. Yes, I think Bianca Belair, if Io wasn't in the match, I would have definitely picked Bianca to win this. But I'm going with Io. And here's the reason why. I do not like that they've put the belt on Io. And they've booked the story. Although I like that Io has stuck up for herself, I do not like that they booked this where basically Io's kind of been an afterthought to the other two. Which is why I feel like it would be pointless to have Io win this championship just to be in there to take the pin and drop it back to one of the other two. No, Io does not deserve to play that role. If that happens, I was going to say, okay, what was the point of putting Io in this match anyways? I personally feel Io should win this. And you know what else I think should happen too? I think Jade Cargill should do what she did to Naomi to Bianca in this match. Yes. That's why I said, from the first night, I think Bianca will somehow be involved with the Jade and Naomi match. That even though it may not be obvious, that Jade may not even notice, I think the pieces will come together and Jade will cost Bianca the championship here and Io will retain. That's where I think it should go. I just think I can't it would bother me so much to see Io get the title just to eat a pinfall. She doesn't deserve that, especially at WrestleMania. If it was on any other pay-per-view, maybe I'd forgive it a little bit more. But not at WrestleMania. No, Io doesn't deserve to be put in that position, especially with how this has been booked. So I got Io retaining the title. I've had several retaining people here because I've gotten. Let me see here. Who do I have I picked to retain? Let me see here. Just one from night 1. 2, 3, 4. 4 people retaining so far their titles. That's all it's going to be, though. So I think that's a fair number for 13, possibly 14 WrestleMania matches. All right, guys. Here we go. The moment I've been waiting for since Sunday or Monday night. Time to throw a curveball. Turn the hat on backwards. Because it's serious time here. Because we got to talk about the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. For the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes. John Cena. Heel John Cena in his first match since turning heel. The winner of the 2025 men's chamber match, which I thought he looked very good in, to be honest. He's on a quest to ruin professional wrestling and become, as he calls, not just the last real champion, but to break Ric Flair's record and win his 17th world championship. So, before I give my prediction and my curveball, even though my pick to win is obvious, but my curveball is not as obvious, I don't think. I do agree that this could have been done a little bit better. This feels like a first gear match. Like, they just turned John Cena heel, and the feud never really got a first gear. They had 3 promos that were great but kind of repetitive, and only one that really was like personal. Cody Rhodes has appeared on both Raw and SmackDown. I don't know if it's because of John Cena's schedule, but there's been a couple promos that just Cody's had by himself. I'm not going to lie. Felt like it was just kind of filling in time. But it was more so a reminder of like, hey, this is a main event match or whatnot. But, you know, I don't know if this is all they could work with, but, you know, it is what it is. This is John Cena's last WrestleMania. This obviously was was what needed to happen. Him fighting for a world title and his 17th world championship. So, to the people who want Cody Rhodes to win because they feel like John Cena's not put the work in yet to win that title, I totally understand your feeling. However, though, I still feel like John Cena needs to win this because he's digging into that desperation of him knowing his time is running out. And he can tell a ton of stories and put over great talent with the title. Make them look really good. I mean. So, my pick to win is Cena. Cena's winning this match. But the question is how? I definitely think there's going to be somebody interfering in this match to cost Cody. So I do think The Rock has to show up here. Because, you know, why have Cena sell out to The Rock just for The Rock not to show up at WrestleMania? That would be a little bit of a slap in the face. I know a lot of people are giving him a hard time because since that promo, he's promoted New Japan more than WrestleMania. Because he posted that photo on Instagram with him wearing the New Japan shirt. But then, of course, you know, even if The Rock does get involved, which he should, that's too obvious for me. I feel like we have to have some other, like, punch to it. So I think it's not going to be The Rock who's going to cost Cody the title. It's going to be someone else. And here's where my curveball. But I'm first going to mention one name that several people have pitched. One person people have pitched is Randy Orton. Which, honestly, I can see it. Although, of course, I know him and Cena are going to probably fight at Backlash. But they could do a thing where, hey, it could be a triple threat with Randy and Orton both as the heels. And Cody as the babyface. Or, I don't know. Something like that, I don't know. Randy Orton's not a bad pick. He has eyed up Cody. Maybe it's some jealousy. And Randy's siding with Cena, basically, or whatnot. They could go there. I'm not going to lie also. Part of me also thought maybe it could be Aleister Black. I mean, you think about it. Aleister Black and Cody have history from AEW. So that wouldn't be a bad idea either. But, even though this person doesn't really need this big of a splash, but to me, I feel like if anyone's going to rip Cody's heart out and cost him the match, what if, and this is my big curveball, and Robbie, this is the thing I messaged you on Instagram about that I said was my idea. Even though I think Cultaholic Wrestling may have beat me to the punch, but I didn't watch their video yet. What if it was Seth Rollins? What if it was Seth Rollins who cost Cody Rhodes the same title he helped him win a year ago? Because think about this. And let me say this too. This could happen whether Seth Rollins does join up with Heyman or not on night one. Because Seth could lose still on night one. And just like go absolutely ballistic. And still out of nowhere cost Cody the match on night two. But the only reason why I'm still saying he should join up still with Heyman is so he still has that ongoing story, still being that ongoing thorn in the side with Roman Reigns. Because eventually, you got to do them one-on-one again. So that's why I still picked him to be Heyman. But think about it. Seth Rollins really hasn't addressed Cody about him teaming up with Roman at Bad Blood. The match that, although it's not remembered that well, is still kind of like some curse that Cody has on him. If they're teamed up with Roman out of the blue. So that's why it's like, what if Seth's been like holding back that anger? And, you know, Heyman also may resent Cody still more because of, you know, what of him taking away the Tribal Chief's belt. And obviously with things not going well with Seth, that could be a thing where it could lead to this. Where Seth's finally like, you know what? I'm fed up. I had enough of all this. I gave you this championship last year. Now I'm going to take it away from you. I think, to me, that would be a story coming full circle. Now, I don't know if that would lead to a match with Cody and Seth immediately at Backlash, because unless they do a draft, they're both still technically on separate brands. So I don't know where they stand with the brand split and whatnot. But to me, if you want to do something like very like heart-wrenching and whatnot, that to me makes the most sense. Having Seth Rollins, the person being the one, even though he really doesn't need it, the one who helped Cody Rhodes get the title, the main reason why Cody won last year, helped him out in his match with The Rock. Seth has what? He's lost his championship. He has gone through injuries. He's dealt with his rival CM Punk. Why wouldn't he have resentment? Seth basically sacrificed everything to help Cody win. And honestly, if they did do Seth and Cody, based off their history, Seth should win that first match they fight. Because Seth hasn't beaten Cody since Cody came back. And honestly, too, I'll say this. If Seth stays on Raw, that could mean he could be the one to eventually dethrone Jay. So, and also, too, if The Rock is there, too, and Rollins basically helps out with The Rock, too, to dethrone Cody, that could also, like, intermingle with Roman getting involved, too, and that could help lead to Roman and Rock at next year's WrestleMania, if they ever decide to do that. So, yeah, I don't know if that is 100% my idea, but I thought of that based off of the stuff with Heyman, with Seth going, because again, I keep saying this, Seth has been more of a de facto heel since Punk came back, since he's feuded with Punk. I don't feel like he's a full-on heel. If you want to make him full-on heel, not only have Paul Heyman side with him and continue on the feud with Seth and Roman, but also have him be the one to cost Cody Rhodes the title he helped him win last year. I think that's the way to go. And yes, I know that's a very heelish WrestleMania. Like, I picked a lot of heels to win these matches, but to me, that's a story that makes the most sense. Because also, too, reason why I said maybe Seth be the one to dethrone Jay. Remember there was a segment, I think right after Jay won the IC title, where Rollins came out afterwards, kind of had like a stare down, like a random stare down with Jay. They never really got back to that. So Seth may have some resentment towards Jay as well. Which is why I said could lead to maybe Seth eventually being the one to dethrone Jay. It would make a lot of sense if you really wanted to put Seth Rollins on another level. So, that is my big curveball. John Cena will win his 17th world title. And also think about this too. Seth Rollins also technically unintentionally helped John Cena get to this match when he took out CM Punk in Chamber. So what if it was kind of this little plan all along? Just say it. So yes, although John Cena is going to win his 17th world title, Seth Rollins, the one who sacrificed everything at WrestleMania 40, could take it all back at WrestleMania 41. by, again, not only pulling Paul Heyman from Roman Reigns and CM Punk, but also pulling away Cody Rhodes' glory. The same glory he gave to him last year. And that's it. I'm out. Good night. Just kidding. I will read the live chat before I leave. But yes, guys, that is my WrestleMania 41 preview and predictions. Again, just to go over everything again really quick here, I do have from night one, Jey Uso's beating Gunther, Naomi's beating Jade Cargill with some unintentional help from Bianca Belair, Jacob Fatu wins the U.S. title, El Grande Americano beats Rey Mysterio, Tiffany Stratton retains, but I still have a feeling they're going to give it to Charlotte, but I think Tiffany should retain. New Day beat the War Raiders for the World Tag Titles. Seth Rollins beats Roman Reigns and CM Punk and aligns with Paul Heyman in the main event. Randy Orton does have a match. Again, safest bet I still think is Nick Aldis, so he can win and fight for the title at Backlash. But I would love it, if it was Aleister Black. But that may not be the safe bet, though. Liv and Raquel retain over Bayley and Lyra. AJ beats Logan. Braun Breaker retains in the Fatal 4-Way for the IC title. Drew beats Damian. Io retains and Jade takes out Bianca. And John Cena wins his 17th world title thanks to Seth Rollins. That's my preview and predictions for WrestleMania 41. Before we go, check the live chat here really quick here, and let me see what we got here in the live chat. I believe we were I think we were right here with Robbie. It says, character aside, I hope Ashley Flair, the woman, isn't dealing with any depression or mental issues given her personal matters. Oh, definitely, yes. Absolutely. I don't want that to happen to anybody, but yes, I do pray that she is okay, because I wouldn't wish this on anybody for sure, but that's very thoughtful of you, Ralphie. I mean, Robbie, I called you Ralphie. That's my baby. I call her Robbie, not Ralphie. If Rusev returns with Lana by his side, give me Rusev and Jacob Fatu. Ooh. That'd be an excellent feud for the U.S. title. I would love to see that. That's a genius move there, Robbie. Unknown TV say, nice info. Keep it up, buddy. Thank you. Tyler says, fire Logan Paul. Probably not happening, but it would be nice. But he's too good of a talent. Robbie says, after WrestleMania, Finn Balor needs to lead Judgment Day. And when the time is right, reunite with JD and possibly recruit Aleister Black to form Balor Club Black. Which, yes, could work if Aleister doesn't go to SmackDown. I can see that. We'll see how that goes. Judgment Day needs to end. It's been 3 years. They should have ended ages ago, if I'm being honest. Judgment Day has just not worked out, in my opinion. They tried to salvage as best they could, yes, but I agree. It hasn't worked out. Robbie says, Mike, if Dominic goes against Vince Wishes and kicks him out to bring in a new member, who do you predict it would be, and who would you prefer? Like I said, if Aleister Black doesn't have anything to do, he might be the best choice. Because of his persona, I would say. So I would say Aleister. Damara Smith says, my winners for these matches are Damian Priest, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Penta winning the IC title, nice pick, and Bianca Belair. Good picks there. And if Cena wins the title Sunday night, he should bring the spinner belt back, which I think he will, to troll the fans, as he is out to destroy professional wrestling for good. No, oh yeah, I definitely think he's bring back the spinner belt, piss people off. I agree with that completely. Have you heard anything about SmackDown returning to 2 hours after WrestleMania? The show can really benefit. Yeah, I thought SmackDown was only going 2 hours for 3 hours for like 6 months. And then it's going to be kind of like a thing where it's like, 1 week could be this, week could be that. I kind of hope that is the case, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I agree. SmackDown just hasn't been the same as 3 hours. That's why I wear my Raw shirt. I'm Team Raw right now because SmackDown just, ugh. I fall asleep during SmackDown every Friday now. Damar Smith's winners for the other matches, he has Charlotte, Jay, Jade, LA Knight, War Raiders, and Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins. Good picks there. AJ should have won last year's King of the Ring and faced Cody at SummerSlam, not Solo. Yeah, Cody definitely needed a better opponent at SummerSlam. I'm sorry. Again, the whole Soul experiment just didn't work in ring-wise. Robbie says, sell out Seth, sell out Rollins. I guess Robbie liked my little pick there. Ironically, Cena and Seth helped Cody fend off the bloodline to conquer Roman and win the championship. I like the idea, Mike. You're a genius, Mike, and that's why I like you. Thank you, Robbie. And Seth is 0-3 against Cody in 2022. And if all that happens to be written, Mike, Seth Rollins will undoubtedly become the Joker of WWE. Yes, for sure. And he says, Ralphie, huh? Remember A Christmas Story, Mike? Ralphie, Randy's gotta go. Ah, man. I feel like that's not gonna be what I'm not gonna hear the end of for a while. And Tyler says Raw is the redhead steep shallot. Not sure what he means by that, but if it means that's a better show, I definitely agree. But guys, yes, thank you. It's been a fun stream, but I do need to get off now. I do have a few other things I gotta do that I promised my wife I'd do. So I'm gonna get off here now. But yes, I think this is a very successful WrestleMania 41 preview and predictions. Again, with it being Easter weekend, I don't know if I'll get to watch this live or whatnot. So no live reactions, but I will do, of course, a live review. And then, of course, as always, we'll go from there. So, guys, what are your guys' thoughts on WrestleMania 41? What's your pick? What's my thoughts also as well on Seth Rollins? Not only aligned with Paul Heyman, but being the one that cost Cody Rhodes the title as well. And continues to feud with Roman Reigns as well, too. Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, the Club of Man 93. You can also follow me on Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch y'all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!